charity ẹ̀yin tẹ́ fẹ́ bá wa dòwò pọ̀ ó ṣúọ́ ẹ máa rí tajé ṣe o TS charity ẹ wòrà wò yí o ìṣirò ẹ̀sọ́ pọ́n ti sùn ó fakọyọ ó tún clean gan ìṣirò ẹ̀sọ́ pọ́n ti sùn o wọ́n ṣe pẹpẹ ó tún mọ́lẹ̀ kedere.
A very good morning. This is Oluyole 98.5 FM on the stables of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State. Welcome you to Conversation this Tuesday morning, the 9th day in the month of September 2025. Conversation Mondays to Saturdays except Sundays. We are here, and here is where we bring you stories making the major headlines in the dailies. We do our best to give you top-notch analysis. In due course, we get to open the phone lines. We invite you to be a part of the flow, our little talk shop, as we always like to call it, and together we try to understand and make sense of those major happenings unfolding around our dear country, our nation, and our world. That, in a nutshell, is what we do on Conversation. That's why the program is called Conversation. Our thoughts, views, and opinions, what we will be sharing with you as presenters and analysts, not the corporate views of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State. And of course, we are networking on Oluyole FM, that's 6.3, our sister station in Alaga, in the Oluyole of the state, Agility FM, Gambari, Ogumosho, on the 92.1 FM dial. No one beats our reach. All over those great states, we are there. Beyond the states, we are there. Beyond the shores of Nigeria, just like via the social media platform, Facebook, precisely at this US, and you are on to Conversation. Once again, wherever you are listening across the world, you are welcome. My name is Tola Teriba.
And my name is Bimbo. I can be with Tola Teriba on Conversation this morning, and this is how we do it every day, every morning on this station. Yes, we give stories, making the rounds, making the headlines from Nigeria and from the shores outside Nigeria. Conversation is the program, and yes, we'll go straight to some really disturbing headlines now this morning. They're talking about the petroleum sector, the fuel sector now.
And talking about the economy.
Yeah, and the economy too. And yes, this 5% fuel consumption tax. Well, I really don't know how the government wants to go about it, and I really don't understand what this is all about. And the Trade Union Congress I think it has to do with maybe more hardship on Nigerians. This tax, fuel consumption tax. The Trade Union Congress has issued a 14-day strike talking about this, this fuel 5% fuel consumption tax. And another angle is the imbroglio going on between the Nupeng and the Dangote group, talking about petrol sector. I think talking about him importing some trucks and CNG trucks, and Nupeng saying that they will not want them to join their unions or so. Well, let me just quickly go through this. The federal government has said, made some policy statements to Dangote and the Nupeng that they should, we should not toy with the oil sector. That says the impending strike will affect hospitals. The health minister, yes, that is according to him, and Pengasan declares a solidarity with Nupeng. He used threat strike. All marketers to join Nupeng strike over dispute with Dangote refinery. And Nogasa, Petro and NATO issued today's deadline. All marketers to join strike. Jati Uruguay. TUC is issuing a 14-day strike notice. The federal government yesterday pleaded with members of the Nigeria Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, NUPENG, and the management of Dangote Group to follow the path of peace in resolving the contentious issues. Minister of Labour and Employment, Muhammad Maigali Dingyadi, made the appeal in his opening remarks at the conciliatory meeting between the two warring parties holding in the conference room of the ministry. And meanwhile, at press time last night, the meeting was still on, as both parties were yet to reach an agreement, and the minister said, "We are here to try and reconciliate our labor unions in the oil industry and the employers in Dangote Group. This is not the first time we are having this kind of dispute, and we believe that by the time we sit down with parties involved, we should be able to settle them." And he said we should be able to resolve the issues within the limits of what is possible. We believe that the gentlemen who are here today will assist us, and I can see the level of commitment in them to see that we resolve these issues. And he went on and on and on. And of course, the Minister of State for Health, Ishiak Salako, also warned that this strike, if it comes up, would severely impact hospitals across the country due to their reliance on fuel-powered generators. And Salako, who spoke in an interview with a private station yesterday, said a strike by Nupeng will obviously affect the health sector because, as it is today, our hospitals are 65 to 80% dependent on diesel and petrol generators. And also yesterday, petroleum products marketers threatened to withdraw their services from today if the federal government failed to resolve the ongoing dispute between Nupeng and Dangote refinery. And the TUC too, the Trade Union Congress, issued a 14-day ultimatum to the federal government to withdraw its proposed 5% tax on petroleum products or face a nationwide strike. And that is coming from the civil service angle now. And of course, yesterday, from I think between 12 and 6 o'clock yesterday, I noticed that most petrol stations were not selling petrol. They were not selling fuel.
Those filling stations, it's not as if they didn't have fuel to sell. As usual, they would shut down, anticipating that maybe they will be able to sell what they have at the higher price. The usual wickedness on the part of the dealers, the so-called hitman, independent marketers, the usual, they are in their usual wicked ways.
The strike has not begun. They are still at a meeting, and they have shut down
their filling stations. there are a lot of people who should be in prison who are not supposed to be working free, and who are not even supposed to be businessmen. Their place is right there in jail.
Yes.
And as for Nupeng, the petroleum tanker drivers, I said it yesterday, this disagreement, I call it a little disagreement between them and Dangote, and for them that is enough to cripple the entire Nigerian economy. That is enough for them to hurt every Nigerian. That is enough for them to shut down Nigeria. As far as my opinion here, Bimbo, I think they are economic saboteurs and they should be treated as such. It's economic sabotage as far as I'm concerned. If you are saying this dispute between you and the private organization cannot be resolved, and you have exhausted all means of resolving that, and the next thing is to shut down Nigeria. Oh, really? Is to start hurting people and start killing people.
Yes.
And the health minister said it, that hospitals will be affected. Definitely people will die if they go ahead with this strike action. So I believe if Dangote is erring in any way, there should be channels, there should be places you can report Dangote to. There should be official channels for resolving this. There should be people that can mediate in this. There should be official channels that could be mediators in this kind of dispute. It's only Nigeria that every little thing you want to cripple the economy, you want to shut down the economy. I'm sure these things happen in other climes too.
Yes.
And of course, patriotism comes first. The love of country comes first. And but for them, because their drivers are not being allowed to drive Dangote CNG trucks because they're not being allowed to unionize. Fine, you could have a grasp with that. Fine, Dangote could be wrong on this, but then, like I said, that is not enough for you to shut down the country and you want to hurt or kill every Nigerian on account of this. Whereas for the 5% tax, I'll just simply give this analogy. Well, whether some people are playing politics at this time or not, whether some people are instigating the all sector unions at this time or not, the federal government itself also should not play into the hands of such people, if indeed they exist, if at all they exist. Now, I'll just give this analogy, Bimbo. It's like squeezing maybe a very precious oil out of a piece of cloth. And you squeeze, maybe the bulk of the oil comes out, you keep on squeezing until it turns into droplets. And then you squeeze further, and somebody tells you that, that is what the federal government is doing to Nigerians now, through this 5% tax. And I don't know what is the need for it. It was suddenly introduced. It's not as if there was any dialogue or any discussion, or broad discussion with Nigerians or the representatives of the Nigerian people, including the lame National Assembly that we have. So I do not know what is the need for it and what gave rise to this in the first place. But like I said, it's like pushing Nigerians further, and then you say things are getting better, and Nigerians are to feel the impact of things getting better, and then this. So I do not know. What do you see? Like you said, even the 14-day ultimatum to the federal government over proposed 5% tax on petroleum products. But then
that means prices of petrol will
definitely. I don't know who will be paying the tax, whether it's us directly or the dealers in petroleum products or the marketers. But either ways, if it's them that will be paying it, I mean those who sell the petrol to us, definitely they would have to add to the cost of the tax to what they are selling. So definitely it means the price of petrol will come up further. So without the gains of subsidy removal, I don't get it. Maybe the economists would understand what is happening here. They would understand that, because we are not economists. But then I don't know. So all the money so far made from the removal of subsidy is still not enough. You still need 5% petroleum tax to add to that for the sake of development, like they always tell us.
And they keep on borrowing money.
And it's it said there will be no more borrowing.
Well, let's hope so.
So maybe 5% petroleum tax is going to the place what accrues from borrowing. But regarding the strike action from Jumbo, well, I'm optimistic in a sense. The class captain, the Lion of Bodilon, always has this way of resolving these naughty issues at the last minute. He has a way of waving this magic band, this magic wand at the last minute. When you think everything is about to go south, he comes up with a solution. So let's hope that this will not happen, and that we will not see the Abacha, like I said yesterday, never again may we see those Abacha days when we had to scrounge for sources of energy, because NOPEG completely shut down the country at that time, and for good reason too at that time. Although, the hope that never was hope 93. I remember with nostalgia now.
Yes.
But then there was maybe some possible reason to do that at that time. But this time around, I do not know what good reason these tanker drivers are having to say they want to cripple the entire Nigerian economy.
Because of one person.
Because of your rift with a private sector organization. Because of something that at the end of the day is not in the interest, maybe not in the interest of every Nigerian. If you win this, it's going to be solely in the interest of your members. So why do you want to shut down? Why do you want to kill every Nigerian, like I said? Because you are hungry with Dangote. All right, moving on now. Motorists lament state of Ibadan Ijebu-Ode road. Well, it's high time the authorities paid attention to that road. One of the very best and most durable roads over time, over the years.
Yes.
But then I guess everything has a lifespan. So it's about time that attention was paid to that road. Routine maintenance would have been key, and I know there was a time that I think it's a federal road, and the federal authorities used to do that.
Federal road.
But the road has been neglected for some time now. I think it's high time attention is paid to that road. And then part of the reason at a particular time that these bandits decided to make that road their axis. But then, thanks to the Oluyole and Ogun state government, I think that has abated now. But then also they did at least to avoid accidents and to avoid unnecessary delays when you are traveling along that road. It's the road that immediately that links Ibadan and Oyo State and Ogun State, linking Ibadan and Ijebu-Ode through Ijebu-Ogbu.
And I think it was constructed during late Chief Obafemi.
Yes. And those that are calling for the repair of this, they are also calling for the repair. There's another road that passes through Akon, and then it goes to this to Ijebu-Ogbu.
Yes, Ijebu-Ogbu.
They're also calling for attention to be paid to that road as well.
It was during the time of the military, precisely during the administration of Colonel Ahmed Usman, that this road was started. Then I do not know. Then maybe it was the construction was finished or not. But I know it was during the administration of Colonel Ahmed Usman.
Around 2025 UTME JAM committee uncovers 4,251 cases of finger blends, 190 cases of AI-assisted cheats. But this AI itself, we trust Nigerians, we are using it for all the wrong things.
Wrong things, yes.
And then 1,878 candidates impersonate albino. 1,878 candidates impersonate albino. Just one. Are they saying just one albino was impersonated by? If we don't get to the root of this one, let's see. Try to look for the story now on the inside pages. All right. This is on page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Okay, the Special Committee on Examination Infractions, SCEI, raised by the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAM, has exposed high level of technology-driven malpractice, with more than 1,878 candidates impersonating albinos. Albinos.
Many albinos.
It is just concluded 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME. I wonder how you would impersonate an albino when you are not an albino. They are very distinct. They look very distinct.
Yes. So, not that they look distinct, they are distinct.
So how you now impersonate them graphically is what I do not get. Now, Chairman of the committee, Dr. Jake Epele, who presented the report to the JAM Registrar, Professor Ishak Oluyole, on Monday in Abuja, said the team uncovered 4,251 cases of finger blending and 190 instances of AI-assisted impersonation through image morphing during its investigations into the 2025 UTME. Oluyole, during inauguration of the committee on August 18, charged members with a solemn mandate to investigate, review, and recommend measures to address the growing and dangerous menace of technology-enabled examination malpractice in the conduct of UTME. So while people all over the world are using these advancements in ICT and technology to do great things, to perform feats and wonders, we are here still busy diverting the acquisition of ICT knowledge to bad things, to all the wrong things. And if we are not advancing along the right channels, you can trust Nigerians, we will be advancing along the wrong channels. And this is what Jambos covered here. And it took what happened the last time, Bimbo, that Jambos severely pummeled and blamed for everything, and Jam became the victim. For Jam to also begin to look inwards. They first of all don't go to their own house. Now they look at the activities, the conduct of the examinations, and the conduct of the candidates who are writing the exams, and now they've been able to uncover this. I'll say a good one, and then we are not yet there, but then I believe this is part of our getting there, getting to the El Dorado, where things will be impeccable, and we no longer have this kind of sorry cases.
Yes, and you know, and during that JAMB saga, then eventually JAMB apologized. Yes. Well, this one says here, Tinubu orders overhaul of military operations after Borno massacre. Well, let's get to the nitty-gritty of that. President Bola Tinubu has directed the armed forces to review ongoing security operations, including the deployment of advanced military hardware and surveillance equipment to eliminate terrorist groups across the country. And this comes as Vice President Senator Kashim Shettima expressed deep condolences to the government and people of Borno State over the recent terrorist attack that claimed many lives in Dara Jamal community, Bamaluku government area. And according to a statement by his spokesman, Stanley Nkwocha, the Vice President reiterated President Tinubu's directive to the armed forces to review security operations, including the deployment of advanced military hardware and surveillance equipment to eliminate terrorist groups across the country. Well, what I feel here is number one, why the overhaul? Then number two, maybe some of the military personnel might have been compromised. That is what I think here.
Well, the overhaul might be imperative from time to time. Well, you ask the question why the overhaul. Well, what happened in Borno at the weekend shouldn't have happened. I mean, if we are to go by the current pace at which the military has been taking the fight against terrorism. But again, for the opting time, I want to state here again that it's time the authorities and the military and other security agencies begin to address the sources that is giving Boko Haram the teeth to bite and the capability to fight back. As long as we do not address that, like I said, what happened at the weekend shouldn't have happened. By now, they shouldn't have that kind of weaponry to launch the kind of attack they launched at the weekend that claimed, well, I think over 100 lives.
100 lives, yes.
They said, including soldiers, including security agents, including security operatives. So by now, they shouldn't still have that kind of capacity. So that's why I'm saying that they should begin to address the sources. So what has been empowering these people? Where do they get their guns? Where do they get their funds? Who are their sponsors? Where do they get their funds? At least if they are somewhere, they must be hiding somewhere. And definitely they must have food, they must have medicine, and they must have logistics, and they must have supplies, they must have petrol. So what are the sources of these things? How are these things transported to them? These are the things, not just fighting the foot soldiers, it's not enough. I have never been for negotiating with them or for saying that oh, we have to live with this and this has come to live with us. I am for going out an all-out war against these people. We are at war with them, and we must realize that we are at war. But then being at war was okay. There are some memories that we do not like to recall here ugly memories, the ugly memories of the Nigerian Civil War. But just to give an example, what happened during the Nigerian Civil War, the Biafra side, and at a point in time, what the Igbo people have never forgiven Chief Obafemi Awolowo for this, what I'm about to say. It was the Federal Commissioner for Finance at the time, and then when the war was ongoing, of course, initially the Igbos were giving the rest of Nigeria a very good fight at the war front, until Chief Obafemi Awolowo suggested that the federal side should block all avenues of supplies, food supply, especially to Igbo land. And when that was done, of course, we know what eventually happened. Everything that made the southeast and the rest of what was Biafra at that time to function effectively became crippled. And so then, of course, thousands died due to starvation, majorly. Was what won the war for the Nigerian side. But that's why I said that these are ugly memories that we do not like to recall. It was particularly hard on the Igbo people. Many innocent children, innocent people actually died. But I'm just saying this and recalling this morning to tell us when you are able to cut off the source of logistics, the source of funding of a particular problem, you understand what I'm saying? Then the kind of effect you would have. So if it could have that kind of effect on an entire nation, a nation that no longer exists anyway, on an entire nation at that time, how much more this ragtag group of criminals that call themselves Boko Haram, that call themselves ISWAP, that go by all sorts of names. So that's why the federal government must, unless, of course, these people are too powerful to be touched. I believe they are known, Bimbo.
Yes, I believe they are. Yes, and they are criminals. I won't call them all those names that you have. ISWAP, we know ISWAP, Boko Haram, bandits, and all those. They are all criminals. Yes, and they should be fished out and they should be killed. Yes, sorry for using that word. Yes, but they are criminals. But then, of course, if they are untouchables, if they are in the government, indeed, like former President Goodluck Jonathan did say, he said there is Boko Haram in government, he said they are in the National Assembly, he said they are in the armed forces. Yes. So if those ones, of course, those would be the ones that are giving them the teeth to bite. And the metal to continue fighting. So if those ones still exist, then and the federal government, be on account of who or what they are, finds it difficult to touch them, then maybe start to admit that the words of the immediate past chief of the former chief, or not immediate past one, the former chief of army staff, the one who was rewarded with an ambassadorial posting despite his dismal outing in that office. He said that it will take the next 20 years. As at the time he was leaving, he said it will take the next 20 years for us to defeat terrorism. And he said this because of what he knew and what he had seen, because of the powerful elements that are too big for the federal government to touch. Tola, let's just imagine if it were former President Olusegun Obasanjo that was still in power or was in power now. What do you think might have happened now?
Well, if we are to go by some antecedents, I don't think these elements would be functional in our country anymore. Yes. They would have long been decimated. If going by some antecedents when he was in office, he was very, very intolerant of such things. Yes. But Governor Okorodu implements unprecedented reforms in Edo civil service. Oh, good for him. And the Wuronshoki residents protest demolition of homes cause good luck on 3rd Mainland Bridge. Oh dear. Let's have this commercial break and we'll be right back.
gbogbo ènìyàn ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ló mọ rírì ètò ìṣèjọba omi tuntun lábẹ́ ìṣàkóso ọlọ́lá jùlọ gómìnà Olúṣèyí Abíọ́dún Mákindé pàápàá lẹ́ka ètò ìlera tó péjú owó pẹ̀lú ìbámu ọmọdé aláboyún àtàwọn ìyálọ́mọ tí wà lálàáfíà ní ìtẹ̀síwájú àgbéyé àti àwòye àṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀bí oúnjẹ fọ́mọ tuntun jòjòló lómi ọyàn ìyá rẹ̀ fóṣù mẹ́fà àkọ́kọ́ ní kété ìbímọ láàrin wákàtí kan ìgbẹ̀bí ọmọ rẹ̀ nílé ìwòsàn gbọ́mọ tuntun jòjòló sọ́yàn fún ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ìjípépé ọpọlọ okun àti agbára lẹ́yìn eléyìí fọ́mọ rẹ̀ lọ́yàn pọ́nbélé láì fi omi àgbo tàbí oúnjẹ kankan sí àfikún bó ti wulẹ̀ kó mọ fóṣù mẹ́fà gbáko àǹfààní eléyìí lọ́mọ tuntun jòjòló yóò fi wà ní ìlera tó jí pépé ọmọ tuntun tó mọ yàyà rẹ̀ fóṣù mẹ́fà lọ́pọlọ rẹ̀ máa ń dàgbà ìdènà àwọn àjàkálẹ̀ àrùn ìgbàláyè àwọn èròjà aṣaralóore àti afáralókun fi yàtọ̀ láàrin àwọn akẹgbẹ́ rẹ̀ ìyálọ́mọ tó ń pèsè ọjọ́ iwájú rere fọ́mọ rẹ̀ ní sàmúlò ìlànà gbígbọ́mọ sọ́yàn fóṣù mẹ́fà àkọ́kọ́ kọ́mọ lè dàwòye ìkéde ìlú wa látọ̀dọ̀ ikọ̀ àrùn àti iléeṣẹ́ ètò ìlera ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́.
I am malaria, the king of malaria parasites. My mission is simple, to take over your body, to cause fever, chills, headache. But one thing stands in my way. Come on, come on.
Effective relief from malaria. Comal on, malaria gone. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult doctor.
Right, we're back, and it's good to know you are still there. The program is still Conversation on Oluyole 98.5 FM. I was just taking major headlines.
Yes, I have here 2027 talking about politics now. North rallies voters as South tops pre-registration list. Let's see what this is all about. And well, northern states in the country have begun voter mobilization as southern states continue to lead online pre-registration in the ongoing nationwide continuous voter registration exercise. And the Punch reports that Kano, Kaduna, Yobe, Zamfara and Ilorin, among others, are part of the states that have begun renewed efforts to mobilize eligible citizens for the exercise. And the Independent National Electoral Commission announced that over 3.5 million Nigerians have completed the online pre-registration. And the update was provided in a press release issued on Monday by the National Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee, Sam Ulumekun.
We're still behind. That's what it means.
Yes.
The voter registration, while the northerners, the northern electorate seems to have advanced to the next stage.
Yes, sir.
Our federal government begins nationwide mapping out of school children, non-literate youths, and adults. And okay, this one here requires petitions Police Service Commission over alleged conduct of Kaduna Command. Former Governor of Kaduna State, Nasu El-Rufai, has submitted a petition to the Police Service Commission, PSC, over alleged unprofessional conduct, abuse of office, and several violations of the Police Act by some officers of the Kaduna State Police Command. El-Rufai, in an 11-page document entitled Unprofessional Conduct, Abuse of Office, and several violations of the Police Act 2020, and regulations by the Commissioner and some officials of the Kaduna State Command of the Nigeria Police, called for an immediate, impartial and exhaustive investigation into the unlawful and unconstitutional conduct of the Commissioner of Police and some officers of the State Command. Now, El-Rufai, now a chieftain of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, informed the PSC that he had earlier petitioned the Inspector General of Police on the unlawful acts executed by some officers and men of the Nigeria Police since the resumption in Kaduna of the current commissioner on 30th December 2024. Well, it goes on and on, but then he did not exactly list what the sins of the Kaduna State Commissioner of Police are. But then, as a citizen, he is entitled to protest and then forward this petition to the appropriate authorities, and the appropriate authorities too, in the PSC in this case, should also look into his complaints, and then they should also get to the root of the matter. I have no grounds with him writing this petition if in any way he feels uncomfortable with the conduct of the Commissioner of Police and the police command in Kaduna.
And yes, still talking the police now. So I think some days ago I heard a story about a body found inside a car within the National Assembly complex, and the police have, embarked on a probe of what really happened. It is that scenario is puzzling everybody, even the police, because kind of controversial circumstances that like they just discovered a lifeless body inside a vehicle at the National Assembly complex. And well, the report says the federal government, Federal Capital Territory Police Command, has begun investigations following the discovery of a lifeless body inside the vehicle at the National Assembly complex in Abuja. And some reports had stated that the body was that of a 55-year-old man identified as Gaddafi Iwa, who was a construction worker working on one of the sites within the complex. And according to reports, the vehicle had been parked in the same spot for days before the discovery of the decomposed body. Yes, and in a statement signed by the police public relations officer of the command, SP Josephine Ade, on Monday, the security agency said the corpse was believed to be that of a laborer found around 9 a.m. on Sunday inside the red Peugeot 406 car parked at the construction site within the complex. That is rather, I don't know, mysterious.
Curious.
Yes. Peugeot 406 car.
It could be investigated.
Yes.
There could be many causes. Maybe he died of particular ailments. Maybe he died of natural causes. Maybe he didn't have anywhere to lay his head when it was night time. He wanted to pass the night in the vehicle. We don't know who the vehicle belongs to. The story doesn't say. So maybe he locked himself in and then couldn't get out again. He got suffocated. There are so many possibilities. And it could be foul play. It could be anything. And maybe, or maybe it is dead now. You don't speak ill of the dead. Maybe he was trying to do something unlawful himself. Maybe he was trying to purify or whatever from the vehicle. I'm just thinking of all the possibilities here. I trust the police will do their job, and they'll find out what exactly happened.
The criminal investigation department, of the police, I know they are good, they are intelligent, and we know that they will get to the root of the matter, what caused the death of this man inside the Peugeot 406 car.
Right, the Kaduna State, former governor of Kaduna State, Malam El-Rufai, is endorsing and unveiling his grievances with the Kaduna State Police Command. Mr. Showore, human rights activist and politician, Oluyole Showore, is also continuing to have his running battle with the Department of State Services, the DSS. It says here, DSS gives Showore 1 week to retract false malicious post on Tinubu or face action. Well, I don't know what kind of action they are talking about, but the only lawful action would be legal action.
Legal action, yes. That is, if they want to take legal action, let them take legal action. If they tell Showore to retract all those statements and insinuations made about Tinubu, and if he doesn't, if he refuses, let them take action immediately, not giving him ultimatum or what now.
And they are saying that they would explore lawful means to protect national security and public order. Well, Showore, a former presidential candidate under the Africa Action Congress, AAC, and pro-democracy activist, had in the post described President Tinubu as a criminal, accusing him of lying to Nigerians after the president reportedly claimed in Brazil that corruption no longer existed under his administration. Even at that, Bimbo, I think Well, I'm just thinking aloud here. My opinion here, I don't know where I stand to be corrected, and I could be wrong. I think it is the Attorney General, if indeed he has made malicious statements, slander against the president, calling him a criminal and all that. I think it's the Attorney General of the Federation that should take this up, and by suing Mr. Showore, taking him to the law courts to answer for whatever he has done. But then, like I said, yes, if indeed he had said this, actually he did wrong, but then I think he should have been ignored, Bimbo. Like I said yesterday, they are doing exactly what he wants them to do. He wants to be more popular. He wants to draw attention to himself. He wants to draw traffic to himself, and the DSS is helping him to do just that. If he had been ignored, a lot of Nigerians probably wouldn't even know that he had made such a post. Even if they saw it, they would have ignored it as the ranting, as just mere ranting of yet another ranting of one who claims to be an activist. So I don't know. Like I said, I think they should have ignored him instead of helping to make him more popular.
Yes, you have said. Yes, we said yesterday, like you said. Well.
Taiwan will work with Nigeria to overcome building collapse, says Ambassador. And Tinubu working to address Nigeria's public debt. That's coming from the Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives. Fair grips Borno community after Boko Haram massacre.
Yes.
They are afraid that they could still be back.
Yes. We hope our security agencies will, get to do something about that. The communities that was attacked over the weekend. Yes, this one says address hardship facing Nigerians. That is the Christian Association of Nigeria, and they have urged President Tinubu to address the hardship facing Nigerians. And yes, also Katung slams renewed killing in South Kaduna, demands urgent action. Yes, Southern Kaduna, there were killings very recently, and the Southern Kaduna, yes, it came under siege, and Senator Sunday Marshal Katung is raising the alarm. The senator who represents Kaduna South Senatorial District condemned the latest wave of bandit attacks that have left scores dead and entire communities devastated in recent weeks. And on August 25, bandits stormed Angwanolini Canal in Chawai Chiefdom of Kawu local government area, killing 7 villagers and injuring many more. And days later, another attack struck Waki community in Kachia local government, leaving 8 people dead and dozens of homes in ruins. Also on Sunday, September 7, gunmen killed a young farmer, Musa Shok, at Mile 1, Kaninkong in Jamas local. What do these people want? Why do they always go on killing sprees? What do they want?
You're asking what a criminal wants when it comes to visiting. When it comes visiting your house, you're asking.
No, they are not stealing anything. They will just attack one village, start killing people. Why? For God's sake.
Well, we should open the phone lines. 080-5500-9850 or 70-5555-1985. Welcome your contribution.
Hello, good morning.
This morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Tola, Mr. Vivo.
Good morning, Mr. John.
John calling from Ilorin.
Good to have you, sir.
On Showore, I think we should not hide under the disguise of human rights activists or whatever, or opposition, to be saying rubbish. Showore has no right to call Mr. President a criminal. Which of the court against that party that Tinubu is a criminal? And why must it be Showore? He used to be someone I love so much. But calling your own president a criminal is totally unacceptable. And I think he's done the DSL job, like you guys rightly said. The Attorney General is taking this up. So let's come and explain which of the courts made Bola Tinubu criminal. The man went to Brazil and said corruption is no longer in Nigeria. Fine, we understand there is still corruption in Nigeria. But the president is the number one chief marketer of his own country. Do you expect Tinubu to go to Brazil and say everywhere why he was trying to market his own country, market his own economy, to tell the world that corruption exists in Nigeria? Yes, we still tell them to come and invest. When Ganifa was alive, he do criticize the government very well. But Ganifa has one thing. When he travels abroad, when they ask him that same question in which he criticizes the government, Ganifa will say, we are working on it. He doesn't criticize Nigeria government outside. We should learn. We should learn. And as regards Mr. President traveling, all states should call their governor to order. What is Adesanya? The president is traveling. You will go and line up at the airport in Abuja. Order. When the president is arriving, you will just go down to Abuja. If they don't have a job, they should go and look for a job. Let the governor go and look for a job. Good morning. Enjoy your day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. John said losing your wedding.
Good morning.
I'm calling from Kolaba.
Good to have you, sir.
We want, in this country, we want, our leaders want American laws, and at the same time they want Chinese laws. They want American rewards, American incentives for them, for their politicians and all that. And they want the American face of democracy, but they want the Chinese law when it comes to them dealing with the oppositions and whatever they don't like. Because one thing is, if someone calls the president a criminal, and if it's not even said that when you look at that statement, said that criminal statement, that's what he said. But just let us look at he said that. Now, what you're supposed to do as a general organization to choose the person, take the person to court, or the personal lawyer of the president, take the person to court, not that he's threatening, anyway, he said that he's threatening, knows that the person they are threatening will not use them. So that's just that. So, whatever to arrest said have been said by the president and his age and his all of them before, so when they were not in power. So, whatever, if they think president aggressive, they should take children to court. That's that. There's an issue of not paying bank account members and all that, and that's one thing is, Dangote is here, we are paying, the things you are paying. And if Dangote refinery should collapse in Nigeria today, then Nigeria is finished. We all know that. If the gas refinery stop working 12 a.m. today, and 12 p.m. today, you know Nigeria is finished. So, Dangote knows what he's doing. He's a businessman, and he's top one for that matter. So, he knows whatever it is. And then, these people who are doing unions and all that, I love unions and I want them to. What has the union ever done for this country? What is supposed to be doing, they are not doing it. Well, except profit that just concerns them. But what have they ever done for this country other than to be constant action for themselves and for Nigerians? So, the government that is saying they don't want, the person that is saying they don't want the workers to be doing unions and all that, what do you are doing on? They know they've seen us like that. They are just so, but we should tell them that we are not unions are allowed all over the world. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Gidi. 070-5555-1985. Just another way to 5500-9850. I'll just keep the calls coming in. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Inshallah, calling from Atlanta.
Good to have you, sir.
In fact, what happened yesterday is a document to the country. Immediately, the petrol stations heard that there will be a strike. They just put up, they close their gate. And many people are running that gate and wanting to buy petrol. It's not good enough. Why we will continue to cast our passion on our leader above? What of we here? hear that you want to, at least you have the petroleum you are selling before. Then you close the gate. And people are, at the end of the day, when you open it today, you put more money on it. That is shy luck. It's not good enough. And that is why we used to say that our opinion Oluyole, our Oluyole, Mekunu. Oluyole, Mekunu. Ẹgbẹ́ kí wọ́n fẹ́ gbàṣẹ́ lọ́jọ́ tí gbogbo lè kó. Ẹ̀yà tó fowó kù, kò jábọ̀ yìí, gbogbo tẹ́ni bó lẹ́ kó lọ. It's not good enough. Let people change their orientation. Let people be so merciful to the people. Everything, every property we have belongs to God. Thank you, Alaji Alabu, from Alaji.
Yes,
Thank you, Alaji.
Kamakuloson, very terrible set of people. Yes. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Tola and Bimbo.
Good morning.
Good morning, Baba.
May the peace of the Lord be with both of you in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Adidado is calling from Okeo.
It's all good, sir.
On the dispute of petroleum matters, I muse on the stuff most Nigerians are made of. Not Nigeria government this time around, not the executives, not the judiciary, not the legislature, but the Nigerian people, selfish people, greedy people, wicked and inhuman people. They don't have human feelings. Before the sick in our hospitals, this time die, let them die. That is their thought. That is their work. That's what they are working at. The poor who cannot get food to eat except they get themselves transported to and from markets on daily basis. If they want to die of hunger, let them die. That is their thought. Tola and Bimbo, you know when it comes to a matter like this, transparent acts of wickedness against fellow humans by Nigerians, I always direct it, I direct the challenge to religious circles. All these wicked people, they belong to one religious group or the other. What lessons do their leaders teach them? What lessons do their adherents learn? Where are the impacts of their religions? The God of all religions commands that we should love ourselves. How I wish that any Nigerian seen as a wicked or criminal individual, his religious leader should be invited to answer some questions about their followers concerning the lessons they are teaching them. I wonder, because I'm a religious leader, what lessons are they teaching these people? And when they get to power, they swear on Quran, they swear on Bible, they do a lot of other things to show that they are religious people, wicked people. God save Nigeria.
Amen.
Thank you, Adedado from Okeo.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you. 502-5500-9850. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Alexander Were.
How are you, Mr. Warren?
I'm sure better. Sacrifice him. Satan is church as in their push. Am I a right person? That's what I'm saying for. What the president and no more corruption. When corruption is gone, corruption want to get a share. What are you telling me? This is truth. We are helping on corruption. The world knows we are necessarily on corruption. That's matter one. On the other side, about police. Yes. Some police here like God. They're police for anyhow. I wonder, God patch them. They should mind their business. Good people. For my good. For my bad. That's the matter. Thank you much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Also, 5551985. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Adimola President.
It's all Mr. Adimola.
Concerning this matter, Ogun State, Oyo State, Rose and other. You see some people are against the Shirima Kinde some party against Makinde. And Makinde is spending judicious purpose fully on construction of road. The airport construction, road construction, and ongoing. So we commend Governor Makinde Abiodun of Ogun State. So they are working together. So if other roads need repair, you hope that they do the needful. And the party and the other and Makinde administration should work together. And concerning this petrol and on strike, so you see, it has been a great concern as it concerns the Minister of Health, investment, and others. So it will affect hospital investment. So in the past, we witnessed this strike. So we witnessed this in the 90s. So at that time, people had to be restricted their movement to trackable distances. And people had to queue for hours at the petrol station. So that has done well. So it came as part of the need for government and that would be to impose some discipline in market transportation. So we think they will not let it happen. So they should work together. The transporters, movement should work together.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that advice.
All right, check the time, it's 7:30, and we have to go on the program. We'll be back same time tomorrow morning, God willing. My name is Tola Teriba.
And my name is Bimbo Akonbi. Thank you very much for listening and enjoy your day.
Conversation.
rédíò tí ó láfiwé Olúyọ̀lé FM àwa ni bàbá.
ọ̀pọ̀ ti sún ó ṣẹ̀dẹ̀ rí bó ṣe wá mọ́lẹ̀ kedere fẹ́ni tó ti gbọ́ kó sọ fẹ́ni tí ò gbọ́ o PCOS bàbá wa làgbà adìẹ ẹṣin tó ṣíwájú ó ti gbapò kíní náà tó bá fẹ́ polówó ọjà kájé bùgbàjẹ́.